Hey, what's up guys? Speedefy reached out to me and sent me their new router for free to do an honest review. They didn't pay me for this review. This is the Speedefy KX450. I will put product links in the description below, so be sure to check those out. This is a Wi-Fi 6 router and it is backwards compatible with previous wireless standards. So in this video, I'm gonna unbox this thing. I'm gonna do some range tests and speed tests with both my iPhone 12 Pro, which is my Wi-Fi 6 device, and with my Pixel 5, which is my Wi-Fi 5 device. So stick around to the end to find out all those numbers. So I'm also going to compare this to the TP-Link AX21, which is very similar in performance. So they both support Wi-Fi 6, they both have the same speed rating of AX1800, very similar processors, 1.5 GHz quad cores. They both support WPA3, which is the latest in encryption. Granted, most devices aren't compatible with that. So in most cases, I would think most people, as of now, wouldn't be using WPA3. They would be using WPA2, which is pretty much what I use. But anyways, let's open these up. And I'm also going to do the speed test and range test with the TP-Link, so I give you guys some comparisons. So starting with the Speedefy, so you get a quick start guide, how to set it up and stuff. Basic and stuff. Lots of different languages, sure. Some examples. That's nice that they actually have some examples here of how to connect it and stuff. And register, we have an Ethernet cable, which is probably Cat5e or Cat6. It doesn't say on it. They do support gigabit, so it's fine. Let's look at the router itself. So it has 4 antennas, and yeah, they're fairly large antennas. So this is, we have 5 Ethernet ports in the back. So you have your WAN, which stands for Wide Area Network. This is where your modem plugs into, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have pretty much 4 ports that you can give access to other devices. If you need more Ethernet ports, then hook up any one of these to an unmanaged switch, and then you can expand your Ethernet ports. It is also wall mountable. It does have those 2 screws, and there's enough air vents and stuff. There's the WPS button. This is the reset button, which I guess you would need a little pin or something to get in there, or a paper clip, and this is your power button. So fairly standard for a router, and you have your power connection, and I will check if this is what the voltage is on this. So 100 to 240 volts, so it should be okay in most places. So now let's open up the TP-Link.
12 seconds later.
If you guys haven't already, smash that subscribe button. I actually have a whole bunch of other mesh Wi-Fi videos, router videos and stuff, and I have a few other routers I'm gonna do in the near future, as well as I'm pretty much gonna do routers for a long time. So the TP-Link also has 4 antennas, a little bit shorter in size, but slightly different in shape. So open these up, take this out. So yeah, let me take out the other stuff and then we'll take a closer look. So we do have an Ethernet cable, Cat5e, and our power cord is 100 to 240 volts. So you should be okay in most places, and they're pretty much very similar in power as well. In fact, specs wise, they look identical. Anyways, okay. So pretty much very similar in package. You do get to, and antennas, these actually make a difference. So when you're placing your router, sometimes the way it's facing might actually help with your signal. So just as a heads up, I've actually noticed this a few times. Like let's say if you're on the first floor, let's just say you're on the second floor and you're trying to get coverage to the first floor. Granted, I recommend mesh Wi-Fi's for that, and I have a whole bunch of videos for that. I will put them in the description below. But if you're going with a single router, which is also fine, I noticed that you could probably even do this and you might get a better signal downstairs because the antennas are in a certain direction. So directions actually do matter for these. So very similar. So you got your WAN port, which is wide area network, and then you got 4 LAN ports. LAN stands for local area network. So pretty much your modem connects here, and then the rest of these you're free to connect other stuff. If you need more Ethernet ports, hook it up to an unmanaged switch. I'll put product links for all that stuff in the description below. You do get a USB port with this. I'm not quite sure what that's for, whether that's for a network hard drive or not. And you get a little power switch, so you probably don't have to unplug this. Granted, that's not that big of a deal, but it's cool to know. And it looks like there is an LED button, which you could probably turn off the LEDs from here. But we'll see if there's an option for that within the app. But let's actually look at a side-by-side comparison between these. So very similar to each other, except the TP-Link has an extra USB port and an extra LED button and an extra power button that you don't have to unplug. So, and this is pretty much what they look like. So the TP-Link does have the lights over here, and the TP-Link is also wall mountable right here and here.
Much later.
It's been a month since I've unboxed these things. I used each one for 2 weeks to see if there were going to be any stability issues, any drops in connections, and so far so good. Moving forward, I then went to the speed test. I did an internet speed test using speedtest.net. I also did a local speed test server, which gives me much better speeds. And I also did a range test, again with the devices, the iPhone 12 Pro, Wi-Fi 6 device, and the Pixel 5 Wi-Fi 5 device. So my internet speeds are rated at 940 megabits per second download and 880 megabits per second upload. Now when I do a speed test using my computer that's hooked up via Ethernet, I get close to those speeds. Sometimes it's a little above, most of the time it's typically below those speeds. But that's right around what I get using Ethernet. So with the iPhone, I got 680 down, 321 up. With the Pixel 5, I got 415 down, 237 up. The TP-Link gave similar speeds with 711 down, 322 up, and 467 down, 330 up. Now all the speeds that I'm saying are in megabits per second, not to be confused by megabytes per second. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. Now you might be wondering, okay, well your speed test, your internet speeds are much faster than that. Why is there such a big drop? Well, the reason is because it's really several things. First of all, my Wi-Fi 6 device is a 2x2 MIMO. It is not a 4x4 MIMO. If I had that, I think I would get faster speeds. Same is true for my Pixel 5. In fact, with my Pixel 5, it's even a Wi-Fi 5 device, which is even slower than Wi-Fi 6. So all of these things play a difference. Now, when I do a local area speed test server, so my computer becomes a speed test server, and my phone goes through the router, goes to the speed test server, basically my computer. So now we're getting rid of my internet service provider. We're also getting rid of the public speed test server that a lot of people are using. And so now when I do the speed test, I get much faster speeds because again, we're isolating the router. So with the iPhone, I got 983 down, 614 up. Pixel 5 also did fairly well with 720 down, 483 up. With the TP-Link, not quite as fast with the iPhone, but still not bad. I mean, compared to that, there is a decent amount of difference there. So 868 down, 570 up, and 709 down, 609 up with the Pixel 5. Range test. So range actually varies based on location. So if you're in a place with a lot of thick walls, concrete walls, if you're in a basement, trying to get to the second floor and stuff, that's all gonna hurt your range. If you're in a building with a lot of walls and other wireless interference, other people have other routers near you and stuff, that's also gonna hurt your range. So I am in a place now where it's not too bad for range. So there are a few walls and stuff, and I do go outside for some of my testing. but overall it's not too bad. So I do expect to get some range out of both of these things. Jumping into the results, you could definitely see a drop in speeds when I move 20 feet away. Now these are still very good fast speeds, but definitely noticed a drop. More in the download area than in the upload area. Jumping to 50 feet away, you could see that the Speedefy is starting to suffer a little bit more than the TP-Link. They're both starting to suffer, but the Speedefy is starting to suffer a bit more, and the reason is that they're both outside, and again, a wall and an additional stucco wall in between us, so definitely going to notice that. At 100 feet, this is across the street, and you can see they're right around the same speeds. The TP-Link is doing slightly better. Now moving to 140 feet, you can see that everything's pretty much suffering at this point. The TP-Link is doing better, but they're all suffering at this point. And it's honestly amazing that it's gone this far for it being a budget system. But right around 140 feet, it starts losing connections and the Speedefy is done. With the TP-Link, the iPhone 12 Pro goes a little bit farther up to 160 feet, but the Pixel 5 can't go any longer than that. So at 160 feet, it's only the iPhone 12 Pro that's connecting to the TP-Link, and again, it's almost cutting in and out at that point. So, jumping into the settings, so they both give you an ample amount of options. They both have apps, and they both give you the option to log into a browser, and they actually give you more options if you do it that way. Now the TP-Link, if you guys are wondering if you guys have a mesh system or anything like that, the TP-Link uses a different app for their mesh system, their Deco. This is using their Tether app, which again is different from their Deco app. So, but a very similar interface, very nice. In fact, I've always kind of been a fan of the TP-Link interface. It's very nice and clean. But again, they both give you options and stuff, parental controls and everything like that, so you're good to go there. Final thoughts. Which one is worth getting and why? Well, that's actually a tough question to answer. And really the reason is because they're both reliable from what I saw. I mean, it is a short time to test these things, 2 weeks each, but within that 2 weeks, I witnessed 0 problems with all my devices connected, so very good there. Specs wise, they're pretty much identical. With results, very, very similar results. The speedtest.net did a little bit better with the TP-Link. The local speed test server did a little bit better with the Speedefy, and the range test did a little bit better with the TP-Link. So it really depends on you. You know, they both have an app. I personally like TP-Link's app, and the reason is because I like their Deco app for the mesh systems. I think it's a very nice, clean interface, but I like that app pretty much more than all of the other apps. I like that more than the Asus, more than the Eero, more than the Netgear Orbi, like all the other stuff that I've tested. In terms of the app itself, I don't know what it is with TP-Link, but they make very nice, clean interface apps. But that's something you use once or twice, and you pretty much don't really go there much. And you can also use the browser, which gives you more options if you do it that way as well. So it's something just worth noting. But it really just depends on you. You know, if you want to go for the ultimate budget system, this one technically does cost less than the TP-Link. So if you wanted to get the most budget system from these two, this would definitely be the one to get. If you do like TP-Link, if you've had TP-Link products in the past and you're like, okay, they're reliable, you like them, then you can get this one. So it really just depends on you, or if you want to squeeze out that little bit more of a range test, range numbers, this one did slightly better than this. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Which one would you get? Which one is worth getting and why? As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.